This first week's challenge is sponsored by Gelish, and the theme is called Squadron Goals. Gelish's new fall line is called Sweetheart Squadron, which is inspired by aviation. So they asked us to create on an actual hand a set of nails using any mediums we like that shows our inspiration for travel. I chose to design my nails around Italy. My husband and I dream of traveling the world, and Italy will be our first stop. I love the history, I love the wines, and the architecture. The Hubs has always been into gladiators and all things manly from the Roman Empire. I look forward to the day we set off on our journey, and that is why Italy is my travel inspiration. Now let's see how I design these beauties. I love all things vintage, and since the Sweetheart Squadron line happens to be partly inspired by female aviation pioneer Amelia Earhart, I decided I'd stick with that vintage feel throughout my nail design. Here we go. I started by placing a thin layer of acrylic onto a Ziploc baggie to create my map, and I also put in a little picture there so that I could use it as a guide when I was mapping out my country and painting the lines and then water. I added a compass, and that was really fun to do. It's really cute. I added some gold to it, and I really like it a lot. And I placed Rome onto my map because that is one place that I absolutely have to visit with my husband. That's the Colosseum right there. And here I'm painting a bottle of wine, a lovely bottle of good Italian wine. And I modeled it after one of my favorite wines, and it is called Roscato. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. If you like to drink wine, it's a really, really good one. I had to add some cheese in there as well, and some pizza. I did some detailing just so that I could make my lines a little bit more crisp, and so they stand out and look nice. My map turned out great. I really love it a lot. I'm creating my runway here for my super cute plane. I love fine line detailing. It is one of my favorite things to do. I placed my sticky tack form onto a Ziploc baggie, and then I created my wings next to it so that I knew how big to make them. I then covered my airplane with acrylic, and I sliced some lines into it, and then I just placed my wings into that and all my other pieces as well. And then I used some acrylic to adhere the tinier pieces that I made for the back wings. And I created some propellers, and I placed wire into the front of the plane so that I could actually put those propellers on there and they spin. Tires for the bottom of the plane. I placed a couple pieces of wire in the bottom, and then I just glued the tires onto the wire. I created the other nails to resemble an old vintage passport. That was really fun to do. I like sponging colors together a lot. I also placed the quote, "Let's travel together and get lost in beautiful places," with a cute little heart for my sweetheart that I would love to travel with in the future. I'm creating stamps onto the vintage passport, and after I created the stamps, I scuffed it up a little bit with an alcohol soaked sponge. I created this cute little airplane, and I put some little lines behind it to make it look like it was buzzing through the air. And then I put a heart at the other end of the nail. And I also made luggage out of acrylic, and I glued it onto there. And of course, I had to make my plane chrome. Who wouldn't want a chrome plane? It was designed after Amelia Earhart's last flight plane. There's my luggage that I'm painting. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed my project, and I hope you'll vote for me. Voting starts today, and it ends Thursday. Thank you.